I'm Cephas Johnson, affectionately known to the community as Uncle Bobby. Of course, not just to the Oakland community across the United States. I am Oscar Grant's uncle. This project is important to me because of the issue of the mass incarceration that has been taking place here in the United States concerning young men of color. In the summer of 2013, the Supreme Court ruled that anyone can have their DNA collected and put in a government database if they are arrested, even if they are not charged or convicted.
Where have y'all been? I've been here for like 30 minutes waiting on you.
Sorry, D.
Yeah, we were at Miles' house. We had to catch the end of CSI in Miami. Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, whatever. Come on, let's go. So you guys are really into that forensic science stuff?
Hell yeah. CSI, cold case, NCIS, all that stuff. It's hella good.
I get it's entertaining all that. You have your suspense, your drama, your blood and gore, right?
Yeah, I mean, the blood and gore is kind of gross, but the rest of it's great.
You know that DNA stuff is actually putting more people in jail, right?
Yeah, that's the point. Lock away the criminals.
Yeah.
Plus, DNA evidence is being used to help people who've been wrongfully accused get out of jail after years of being incarcerated. It's like the great equalizer.
Yeah, you need to watch more CSI, D.
Yeah.
See, that's where you're all wrong. DNA-based evidence is more complicated than they like to make you think. Just this year in San Jose, there's a guy who was wrongfully accused for killing somebody in a robbery based on his DNA being on the guy's body. Turns out, he was unconscious in an ER during the time of the murder, and his DNA was transferred to the scene by the paramedics who treated both of them that same night.
Was you trying to say that the DNA evidence actually made it seem like he did it when he didn't do it?
Exactly. Everybody thinks because DNA-based evidence is all scientific and stuff that it's the ultimate truth, when in all actuality, there are a lot of pitfalls.
While people of color account for 30% of the U.S. population, people of color accounts for 60% of those incarcerated. The United States is the world's leader in incarceration with 2.2 million people locked up in its prisons and jails.
But I thought DNA matches are supposed to help people of color by identifying the real bad guys from when the police are racially profiling. I saw on the news that like 300 black men were released from prison on account of, DNA evidence being released.
That's nothing compared to the amount of people of color who are still in prison because of those forensic evidence techniques.
Wait. You're saying that evidence, the DNA evidence, is keeping people of color in the system? How does that happen?
Man, CSI and the news, D, you're on everything.
Yeah,
Shut up,
man.
Miles. You know I just want you to know what's up. This stuff is real.
Yeah, I know. I'll let you know, D. I'm just playing around.
According to the Bureau of Justice statistics, 1 in 3 black men can expect to go to prison in their lifetime. Let's take a look at one factor that may contribute to this racial disparity in the prison system called familial searching.
All right. So, have y'all heard of this thing called familial searching?
Yeah, no, that's what the LAPD used to catch this one serial killer, Grim Sleeper or whatever, right? Dude had some serious issues.
You heard about that too?
Heard about what?
So there's a serial killer, his name is the Grim Sleeper, and it was taking him forever to catch him. So they used this technique called familial searching, but the problem was that the DNA that they had in the database didn't perfectly match the DNA that they found at the scene. But they had a partial match with some of the database DNA. So the police figured that, it must be related to him or something. So they use the familial searching, check out throughout his whole family, all the males, and then they found that it was his dad who did it. Make the match, and boom, case closed.
Yeah, so the killer's son's DNA led the cops to him.
That's tight. Somebody should make a movie about that.
Yeah, so that's one case of familial searching that worked. But check this
Wait,
out.
You're gonna ruin this one too, D?
Anyway, well, so the cops have this database that's filled with hella people's DNA. I don't know, something like over 1 million people's DNA in Cali alone.
Dang. Wait, how did I know my DNA is in that thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever written a bad check for over $1,000?
No.
Been convicted of a drug felony?
No?
Arms possession without a permit?
Nah.
Grand Theft Auto?
Nah. But I like the game though.
Yeah, I do too. What about been charged with a felony?
Nah.
Okay, so then maybe your DNA is not going to be in that database, but wait, have you ever picked up a penny off the street? Just kidding.
Because African Americans are significantly overrepresented in government DNA database, if the national database were used in familial searching, about 17% of the country's entire African American population could be identified.
So this familial searching thing means that even if your DNA isn't in a database, that you can still be investigated just by association.
Yeah, but Miles doesn't have any family that's ever done time, so there's no way that they could be in the database, right?
See, that's the thing. The assumption is just close relatives, brothers, fathers, even sons. But also, it's only genetic males that can be tracked using this familial searching. But familial searching has a very high likelihood of turning up a distant relative, and not just uncles and cousins, but half siblings, half uncles, half cousins, and even that second cousin twice removed on your dad's grandfather's side.
Wait. What the heck is a second cousin twice removed from your dad's granddaddy's side?
I don't know, but it sounds distant.
So let's get this familial searching thing correct. If my brother's DNA was in the database and like our dad's half brother or something left some DNA at the scene, then I can be investigated as a potential match?
According to recent data, there's a very high likelihood that you might get pinned as a close relative, and that pretty soon there'll be a mysterious white van with no windows outside your house. And not just you, but your brothers and your dad too.
But it's cool, cause like, I didn't do it. They'll just be following me around, wasting their precious time and tax dollars on somebody I'm barely related to, hell, don't even know, left some DNA at the scene.
Come on, Miles. Are you trying to tell me that you wouldn't mind having the feds all up in your business like that?
No, I have nothing to hide.
Come on.
Why do you think prisons are continuing to be filled with people of color? It's not because we're inherently criminal. You said it yourself, police profiling. If the cops are on your track because some guy you're distantly related to is in the database, you're hella times more likely to go to jail for some petty stuff that they otherwise would not have been there for.
Yeah, and you know that database has got to be full of the DNA of people of color. Like Dee was saying, they're tracking people who are genetically related, and a lot of that time, that means that the people have a similar skin color.
Today, about half the states allow familial searching. Very few have clear politics or transparent about the methods they use.
I fell asleep for like the past week because you know that lunch
Yeah,
gets
but like-
you.
Wow, they're right. Even if I don't have a record, if I've never done anything, I can be followed as a suspect? This system is set up for me to fail. My brother was in jail for a DUI that one time. Could he be in the database? I have so many cousins. Their DNA could be anywhere. And half cousins, second cousins, man. I don't even know who those people are.
Miles. Hey, Miles. You dripping your ice cream, man.
Yeah, bro.
Alright, well, I gotta get up out of here. I'll see y'all later.
Miles. Catch you later, my man.
Alright,
Take care.
With familial searching, when one group is overrepresented in a DNA database, its members become targeted for increased genetic surveillance. Since police and prison systems are most harmful to people of color, this surveillance falls mostly on family members of color, widening the pool of people racially profiled, targeted, and perhaps harmed by familial searching.
Time's not to be wasted. Each and every move that we make is steady yet patient. Open up the cages, yeah, for all my relations. Keep your fire blazing, signs of revelation. Got no time for hesitation. Get right to be taken to this higher meditation. Yeah, it's a fight for liberation. Worldwide waging. Time is of the essence. The present moment is a blessing. And it's known we in the West, so my people stressing. The evil presence of fear keeps them second guessing. From adolescence to manhood, my progression has taken time, not no overnight flight. Through the mat to the path that created the eye, motivated the grind, inspired the rhyme, gave you the first lesson. The year was 99 and it was right on time.